Good evening, Second Creekers. I'm in charge of the bedtime story for this evening. Bedtime stories make me think of getting cozy. And to me, there's nothing cozier than some popcorn. I love popcorn. My mom loves popcorn. My children love popcorn. Popcorn is one of our very favorites. So we're going to read a story called The Popcorn Book by Tommy DePaula. Raise your hand if you like popcorn. Me too. And now a word from our sponsor. On the TV, these boys have a commercial that says Popo Pop Popcorn. And the voice bubbles say, Mom, can we make some popcorn? Mom says, yes, the popcorn's in the refrigerator. The boy says, yummy! Wonder why Mom keeps the popcorn in the refrigerator. I don't know. I'll go look it up. What a smart boy. Here it is. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator so the kernels keep their moisture. Moisture is that wetness that keeps things from getting dry. Boy, this is interesting. Listen. Popcorn is the oldest of the three main types of corn. There's field corn, which we feed to animals like cattle and pigs, sweet corn, which is the kind we eat, and popcorn. So I'm going to act this story out like what these boys are doing because they're making popcorn on the stove. I'm going to teach you guys how to make popcorn on the stove. He's got cooking oil, a pot, and some corn. I've got a pot, corn to pop, and some oil. Popcorn was discovered by the Indian people in the Americas many thousands of years ago. One of the first sights Columbus saw in the New World was the Indians of San Salvador selling popcorn and wearing it as jewelry. First, I heat up the pan. Let me heat up the pan. But popcorn is even older than that. In a bat cave in New Mexico, archaeologists found some popped corn that was 5,600 years old. That's some old popcorn. And 1,000-year-old popcorn kernels were found in Peru that could still be popped. Now the cooking oil. So I'm going to pour enough oil in the bottom of the pan to just lightly cover the bottom. And I whoosh it around. Put the lid back on. Let it warm up. The Indian people of the Americas had many different ways to pop popcorn. One way was to put an ear of corn on a stick and hold it over a fire. But many kernels were lost in the fire with this method. Look at the kids trying to catch it. Another way was to throw the kernels right into the fire by the handful. The popcorn popped out all over the place. So there was a lot of bending and running around to gather it up. Okay, now it's hot enough to add a few kernels. Boys and girls, I skipped this step. Instead of adding a few kernels, I just pour all the kernels in. So you'll note that. I take my kernels and just like the oil, I pour in enough to cover the bottom of the pan. And then I whoosh it around again to get them covered with oil. And I put the lid back on. In 1612, French explorers saw some Iroquois people popping corn in clay pots. They would fill the pots with hot sand, throw some popcorn, and stir it in with a stick. When the popcorn popped, it came to the top of the sand and was easy to get. So that made it easier to trap. But was it sandy? Yuck! The Iroquois people were fond of popcorn soup. Soup? The Algonquins, who came to the first Thanksgiving dinner, even brought some popcorn in a deerskin pouch. The colonists liked it so much that they served popped corn for breakfast with cream poured on it. Today, Americans use 500 million pounds of popcorn each year. 30% is eaten at movies, circuses, ball games, and county fairs. 10% is saved for seed and sold to other countries, but 60% is popped right at home. Oh, goody, the kernels are popping. That means the oil must be ready. Remember, I skipped that step. So I'm just waiting for mine to pop. People in the Midwest buy more popcorn than any other part of the United States. Maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm from the Midwest. Milwaukee and Minneapolis are top popcorn eating cities, followed by Chicago. That's where I'm from. And Seattle. Most of the popcorn is grown in the Midwest too. Now I'll put more kernels in the pan and turn up the heat. I already did that step. Now, here's the part I read first. Popcorn is best stored in a tight jar in the refrigerator, so the kernels keep their moisture. If the kernels dry out, there will be too many old maids left at the bottom of the pan. Old maids are unpopped kernels. It doesn't look like enough. Do you guys hear mine popping? I have a rule that once it starts popping, if you can count to 3 in between pops, it's time to turn the heat off and throw it in the bowl. If the popcorn does dry out, you can add 1 or 2 tablespoons of water to the jar and shake it until the water is absorbed. Shake, 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 shake. Popcorn pops because the heart of the kernel is moist and pulpy and surrounded by a hard starch shell. When the kernel is heated, the moisture turns to steam, and the heart gets bigger until the shell bursts with a pop. Are you sure you didn't put too much popcorn in the pan? Of course not, silly. I do that all the time. Will you hear mine popping? It's popping hard. The Indian people had a legend that inside each kernel of popcorn lived a little demon. When his house was heated, he got so mad that he blew up. Here's the little demon. He's getting hot. He's starting to feel it. He's sweating. He's getting mad and pop. 1, 2, 3. Sounds like my popcorn's done. Oh man, look, the lid's popping off. Turn the heat off, and I get my bowl ready. I'm going to pour it into the bowl. And you can melt butter to add onto your popcorn. I, personally, just like a little bit of salt. And I shake it in. I'm ready to have a nice snack. Delicious. These demons are pretty tasty. There are different kinds of popcorn. White, hull-less, and yellow hull-less are the ones most commonly sold in stores. The smallest type is called strawberry because it has red kernels and the ears look like strawberries. Rainbow has red, white, yellow, and blue kernels. It is sometimes called calico. There is black popcorn too, but all of it pops white. The biggest kernels are called dynamite and snow puff. Shake, shake, shake. After popcorn is popped, most people like to put melted butter and salt on it. But if salt is put in the pan before the kernels are popped, it makes the popcorn tough. Shake, shake, shake. There are many stories about popcorn. One of the funniest and best known comes from America's Midwest. One summer, it was so hot and dry that all the popcorn in the fields began to pop. In no time at all, the sky was filled with flying popcorn. It looked so much like a blizzard. Everyone put on mittens and scarves and got out the snow shovels. Wonder if that's a real story. Help! I have a blizzard too! I know you put too much popcorn in the pan. Okay, if you're so smart, what do we do now? I know. The best thing about popcorn is eating it. And in the back, there's 2 different recipes on how to make it. I hope you guys enjoy the bedtime story here at the Blake House. I sure miss you guys, and I can't wait to see you soon. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.